Varden Prime had never been a gentle world. Its continents were jagged scars of black volcanic rock and ash deserts. Its oceans thin sheets of acidic brine that steamed under a bruised violet sky. The planet's only value to the Imperium was its position. A choke point on the edge of the Segmentum Tempestus, and the massive, void-shielded fortress monastery carved into the side of Mount Calvaris. The Ultramarines' 4th Company, 100 battle brothers under Captain Aelius Corvin, had held it for 2 centuries. They called the fortress the Iron Bastion, and they believed it unbreakable. They were wrong. The first sign was not the sky falling, but the silence rising. Vox channels that had carried the daily litanies of the Planetary Defense Force went quiet, one by one. Then the astropathic choir in the Bastion's spire began screaming. Not words, raw, animal terror projected across the warp. Brother Librarian Tharsian felt the shadow in the warp descend like a guillotine blade. He staggered in the librarium, blood pouring from his nose, and whispered a single word before collapsing. Tyranids. Captain Corvin did not waste time on disbelief. He ordered the Bastion to battle stations, the macro cannons loaded, the drop pods fueled. He stood on the highest rampart and watched the Hive fleet eclipse the stars. It was not a fleet. It was an eclipse made of living meat. Bioships the size of moons drifted forward, their hides pulsing with bioluminescent veins. From their bellies spilled billions of mycetic spores. Black rain that burned as it fell. Where the spores struck the ash deserts, they burst open and rooted. Within hours the wasteland was a writhing carpet of capillary towers and digestion pools. The Tyranids were not invading Varden Prime. They were digesting it while it still screamed. Corvin committed his entire company to the first line of defense, the Ash Wall, a 100-kilometer curtain of adamantium and rockcrete that ringed the equator. Terminators of the first anchored the center. Dreadnoughts walked the parapets like moving cathedrals of hate. Thunderhawks screamed overhead, strafing the advancing tide. The swarm came on foot, on wings, on claws. Hormagaunts bounded across the ash in red waves, their scything talons carving furrows in the ground. Termagants followed, spitting grubs that exploded into acidic shrapnel. Above them, harpies and gargoyles blackened the sky until the sun was only a memory. The Ultramarines killed them by the millions. Bolters roared in perfect disciplined volleys. Heavy bolters sang their endless hymn of death. Las cannons speared the larger bioforms. Carnifexes that lumbered forward, shrugging off missiles like rain. For 6 hours that ash wall held. The ground before it became a lake of ichor and chitin. Then, the hive mind adapted. From the rear of the swarm rose something new. A Hierodule-class bio-titan, its carapace plated with chitin the color of old blood. Its bio-cannon spoke once. The eastern bastion of the ash wall simply ceased to exist, along with 30 terminators of the first. The gap was 50 meters wide and already filling with gaunts. Corvin saw the breach and knew the wall was lost. He ordered a fighting withdrawal to the secondary line, the Calvaris Ridge, 20 kilometers north of the bastion itself. It was a good position. Steep slopes, good fire lines, kill zones pre-sighted for centuries. It was not enough. The Tyranids did not climb the ridge. They burrowed beneath it. The first warning was when the ground trembled, not from artillery, but from something vast moving under the rock. Then the ridge cracked open like an eggshell. From the fissures poured Sworn Lord level coordination, Trigon Prime after Trigon Prime. each one a living tunnel boring straight into the heart of the Ultramarines' line. Raveners followed, bursting up beneath dreadnoughts and dragging them down into the dark. Corvin fought at the centre, his power sword a blur of blue fire. He cut a Trigon in half, then turned to face a Carnifex that crashed through the rubble. Its tusks impaled Brother Sergeant Numitor and flung his body aside like a doll. Corvin roared the war cry of Macragge and charged. A psychic screamed the death agonies of Librarian Tharsian. Somewhere deep in the tunnels ripped through every Astartes helm. For one heartbeat, the Ultramarines faltered, but in that heartbeat, the swarm surged over them. Corvin was dragged down beneath a tide of claws and teeth. His last sight was of the company's standard falling, the proud blue and gold banner of the 4th swallowed by the red tide. When the sun rose the next day, dim and sick through the spore clouds, the Calvaris Ridge was gone. Only a churning sea of Tyranids remained, feeding on the gene seed of 100 of the Emperor's finest. The first battle for Varden Prime was over. The war for Varden Prime had only begun.